Welcome back to How It's Played. My name is David Howe. I'm an anthropologist and archaeologist, and I love Civ. So in the first video of this series, which I'll put right here, we did Antiquity Era Japan as Toyotomi Hideyoshi. Time-tested, of course. We're starting as Meiji Japan in the ancient era, staying with it through the exploration, and then to the modern. Because in the modern, I want to just completely dominate the world with planes and boats, and this is the whole game setting up to that. Just so you can take it step by step and follow along with me if you want to do the same thing. Because Japan is an absolute war machine. So, as we get started with this one, I'm going to lay out the pins for the exploration era, how I start overbuilding. Overbuilding is one of the most important things you can do in the game, which essentially means you want to make sure you build everything you can in the Antiquity Era, so that way in the next era you can place buildings over top of that and build them faster. Okay, 144 science, 93 gold, 113 culture, and a lot of influence. Great. The reason this video is long is I want to show you every little step that I did for overbuilding and how exactly I approach overbuilding, also what I do with my religion, how I get my religion going, distant lands just a little bit, I'm not going to go too into it, and then, of course, lastly, I go to war with Hatshepsut. You guys coordinated strike those walls, and you waltz on and take it. Mennefer. We have now just absolutely eviscerated Egypt at the end of the era, just so I can have a staging area to attack Ada Lovelace because she needs to go in the next era because she's going to beat me in science, so I got to take her out. If you want to skip to just the war, I'll put that here. If you want to skip to just the final pins that I put out in the era, I'll put that here. But if you want to watch the whole thing with me, I take you through overbuilding, setup, religion, dedications, distant lands, the whole war with Hatshepsut, how I planned the war with Hatshepsut. So naturally, at the end of the video, I'll show you everything that I planned to build and didn't build, and everything that I planned to build that I got done. What it looks like at the very last turn of the era, so that when I go to the modern era, what I'm working with. Because in the modern era, we're going to go full-blown fascism and just take out Ada Lovelace and possibly Ibn Battuta, because I think I can. So we'll do that. Also, please don't forget to comment and subscribe. Subscribing helps more than comments. If I get 1,000 followers, I believe, I can start getting monetized because I'm already well past the view hours, which is very nice. So I can get these Civ videos monetized and I can get paid to play Civ, which would be awesome. But also, every comment helps. It helps the algorithm boost the game up. Just let me know what you thought. Let me know some tips and tricks that you had or whatever, and put those in the comments. But anyway, let's continue to the game. This is the start of the exploration era. We're going to befriend this guy, so let's just go ahead and do that. Science city-state, and it's right next to me, which is going to be real good. I made Tokyo was the original capital. I made the new capital, I haven't even picked that yet. We're going to make the new capital Kumamoto, but we'll skip to that once we get there. But let's just talk about the pins real quick. As I mentioned in the intro, overbuilding is the most important thing you can do in the exploration era, which I guess is the most important thing you can do at the end of the Antiquity Era, is have all your buildings laid out so that you can overbuild them better in the exploration era. So what I'm going to do here, using the detailed map tax mod, is lay out all of my pins and show you exactly my strategy for overbuilding and how I'm going to maximize all my yields for the game so that I have a proper war machine for the next era, but also in the end of this era too. By the time it gets cooking, we're ready to go with it. So here is the setup and overbuilding. So I already have this laid out, right? So we got the Der Shakun there. This was the monument and the amphitheater. This was the villa and the arena. So we're going to make that the temple and the kiln. We're going to make that the menagerie and the pavilion because it's next to the wonder and the mountain. These stayed 1, 2, 3. So we're immediately going to make that our observatory and our dungeon because that was the library and the barracks. This, the Jinja, I might make a guild hall or something like that later, but it looks like I kept it. I could make this the bank and the hospital. Right now, that's also an arena and a villa. That's for the other city, right? But yeah, the market and the garden, we're going to make that the bazaar and the inn. And then if we can get a wonder here, this will be a beautiful bank and hospital spot, which is going to be excellent. So hopefully Tokyo grows that way. We also got the wonders here, and then we got these guys that are ready to explore. You can already see there's some distant lands over here. Same with down here, but I might send these guys this way and send this guy that way, right? Fushimi, we'll come back to that. Kagoshima, if I want to make this a city again, which I probably could, because look, that spot disappeared. That was gypsum last game, or jade. Now I can make that 1, 2, 3 mountains. That's going to be the temple and the kiln. This will be the menagerie and the pavilion. That's the monument and the amphitheater now, but we'll fix that there. So we'll still get that extra culture if we don't overbuild those. This is the academy and the barracks, which is next to 1, 2 resources. We'll make that the university and the armor, because this will be the library, and the blacksmith is now going to be the observatory and the dungeon because that's next to 1, 2, and adjacent to these science ones. And if we get a wonder there, perfect. It's the altar from last game. You can tell again the altar because it's got the steps on it. And then we'll make this the bazaar and the inn. Just because there's one water tile be better over here, but I'd rather that 1, 2, 3 be the bank and the hospital because it will make more later, especially if I can get that wonder. So that's Kagoshima. These I'm just going to keep mining towns. I'll add more warehouse buildings and stuff like that, but mining towns, mining towns, mining towns. Sendai, we can make more, but we'll keep this a growing town for now because I want it to grow. Sendai though, 1, 2, 3 resources, so that's definitely going to be the observatory and the dungeon. This was the academy and blacksmith. We don't need that yet in that spot because 1, 2 here, we're going to overbuild that as the university and the armorer. Because this is 3 and it's already built, we don't have to get out here. We can immediately put the observatory and the dungeon. So we're going to do that. This will be the bazaar and the inn. 1, 2, 3 water. And this will be the bank and the hospital. Yeah, the bank and the hospital. So 1, 2 water. And we'll make this. Don't have a spot for the amphitheater and the pavilion, I think it is yet. But also notice 1, 2, 3 mountains here and the Sanchi Stupa. Let's get over here to make this the amphitheater, excuse me, the pavilion and the menagerie. And ideally another wonder here to make that even better, right? So we can try that. And then we can build the shipyard here because the shipyard's in between this resource and the Jinja, so that'd be all right. Also shipyard would do well there, but we want to get up to here. So we can probably put something there. But yeah, that's that city. We'll see how that came out. And then back to, what is this? Kumamoto, which will be the capital once I set that. We already have 1, 2 resources. So the observatory and the dungeon. This is the market and the garden. So let's make this, I didn't pin that out yet. That will be the inn and the bazaar. Though I might make this the bank and the bazaar because it's got all that water around it. We'll make this library, since that's going to be the observatory and the dungeon, we'll make this library, the hospital, and the inn, if we can, because it's got the 2 water next to it. If we can get a wonder here, that will really help, but we'll make this, it's next to 1 resource, really. There's no better spot for another science spot here, except for the altar, but there's a granary there, so, oh damn, that would have been, well, 1, 2. That'd have been a better science spot, but if we get the wonder and that 1 right there, this will equal out. So the university and the armorer, menagerie and pavilion, temple and kiln. We'll get that there. Shipyard, wharf, fishing quay and harbor, and we'll keep the Kumamoto, or the, excuse me, we'll keep the Jinja if we can. So not bad, right? Let's see how this fared in the end of the game. Also forgot to mention my dedications. We're going to talk about those here, but I'm also going to go into distant lands, which ones I got, why I chose them, and also what I did with those. Some of them I made urban centers, some of them I made resort towns, some of them just stayed growing towns, and I'll show you why I did that. And then also religion. Religion is the most important thing you can do in the exploration era besides settle distant lands for multiple reasons, which I'll get into. But if we want to stay on top of science, I'll talk about this in the game, but basically religion can help enhance your science, help your war, and help your economy. So here's that. And I believe for traditions, I got 2 free hospital purchases, which is really good. Unlocked piety, so I can immediately get to my religion. And then 1 great work slot for each adjacent science, 1 great work slot on science buildings, 2 science from great works. Great works, I have, does it tell me how many I have? I gotta count them. 1, 2, yes it does. If I go here, cultural. I have 24 relics. So 24 relics, and that's giving me 2 culture, 2 happiness, and 1 science based on my dedication. 2 science on display great work. So each of those is giving me science. So I already lost count of how many I had. We'll check that again. Cultural, I have 24. So 24 times 2 is 48. That's 48 extra science. Good. Also, you'll notice Shinto, 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 Shinto. I stayed on top of that because my religion, 4 science for every foreign settlement following your religion, 1 science for each of your own settlements following it. When a trade route is established, it's converted to my religion, and then 2 relics for the conversion of a capital. And then I also, in my religion, or in my civics, I should say, let's see, or go to policies. Policies. I have religious orders, which gives me 50% science, 50% culture on anything following my religion, and then 50% gold and science on cities that are already converted to my religion. So that's 74 gold and 69 science, 58 culture and 71 happiness. You need that. Rationalism and religious order, which comes from theology. You get it at Reformation. So Reformation is really, really good. You want that. Okay. This is the end of the exploration era. Apologies for the giant Habib that's going... Haboob is what it's called. A sandstorm in Arabic. Haboob. It's a haboob. But anyway, irrelevant detail. But first of all, let's take the pins off and let's just do this. Look how much being isolationist helps. You and having the ability without anyone on this little continent with me, attacking me, how much you can expand and build build a huge empire. Got some distant lands as well. I did not attack Egypt. I did not attack Ada. Looks like I'm about to though. But let's see. This ended up being a fishing town, which I can still build some more stuff here. This is not the end of the era. This is just like the right about past the crises. This is where I'm about to go to war with Egypt just to set up for the next game. I wanted to stay isolationist, but I need just to win the game. I'm gonna have to kill her. But whatever. Okay, so Tokyo. Let's see what. Oh right, the distant lands. There was one right here. So remember, I had all those boats built. Found some right here. This still counts as Japan, just like Okinawa, right? Or no, this is its own little island. This is Okinawa. I also got one way out here, just to have a base for next era in case Japan gets a little frisky on me, or Jose Rizal, who always does. Treasure fleet, or treasure resource. This was a city-state I befriended and then incorporated. So 1, 2, 3. Excellent stuff. In fact, let's pin these out while we're here, just so you can see what distant lands looks like. This, I made an urban center, because at 1, 2, I put an observatory. And then this is a temple. You can build temples anywhere next to the mountain, so good. Let's take that off. This is a granary. That was just to stop Jose, because he settled right there before I could get here. And this was a city-state that I killed, and I founded my own city here. Mine, plantation, woodcutter, excuse me. This can grow a little bit more next era. This I incorporated, and it looks like I made it a religious site, resort town. Okay, I can still build some stuff, but let's pen it out. So I put the tea house, which is my unique improvement, which I syncretized again and took from. I chose Sengoku Japan's tea house. 2 food, 2 happiness, and 1 culture for each adjacent district, which, you know, helps when there's a district. There's no adjacent district there, so whatever. But I did end up building, let's see, I incorporated a city. So they already had some stuff here, or a city-state. They had a sawmill. I think I built these. Yeah, I built these. The city-states don't really build stuff. Temple, and that looks like a granary and a saw pit. Saw pit. Oh, that's a brickyard then, huh? Sawmill. Oh, sawmill, right, that's the thing you can build in the next era. Sawmill, and then a granary here too, which is giving me better on the plantations, giving me better production, and then the pasture for the horse. Treasure resource, and that's it. So that was sending back to my main area. Yonezawa became an urban center, so I can build stuff here. Let's see. This I founded, so, well, that's the city hall. City Hall, that became a great temple and kiln. That is a tea house, getting adjacencies to the district. Treasure resource, harbor, fishing key, and harbor. And that became an observatory and university. 22 science in distant lands is not bad. Yeah, real good. So that became a pretty good spot. So now that all the city setup, city planning, city painting, and the distant land stuff and the religion is out of the way, what I'm going to do now is set up for the war with Hatshepsut. So I'm going to take a few turns, but just to show you how I kind of gear up for that. So if you want to skip that part, just go right here to the war. Okay, different day, new outfit. But what we're going to do now is finish the exploration era as Japan. We already set up the pins, showed you how I was going to lay things out, how I was going to overbuild. Let's turn these yields off so you can see things. I mean, just like, first off, let's just take a look at Tokyo. Tokyo is looking fine, right? Kumamoto, the capital. Let's see, we got some samurai and horses. Looking pretty good, right? So the goal now that we've set up all of the pins, what we're going to do is declare war on Hatshepsut so that I can just clear her out and be able to take over Ada the next game. 13 of 17 settlements, so I can take at least 5. Okay, first things first, let's get we're not going to be able to get through here, and I want to be able to take out Wasit and Kemenu next game, and there's even Zhao over here. So let's get our ships over here so we can get this war started. We'll do that. We have a Plague Doctor here ready to go. We're going to have to kill Gebtu as well. Okay, and this guy has guys in it. He needs to upgrade, so we need to get him here to upgrade. So maybe we'll wait till that to declare war. And I still have some buildings to build in these cities, so we'll do that as well. She's already been denounced, so we're good to go there. I have a lot of gold. Let's save that gold for, you know what? We have a fleet commander over here. We don't need another. Let's get these over here, especially to get out of the way of the plague. Okay. You stay there. We're gonna need you. There. You come here. You stay there. You come here. You get there and upgrade. Perfect. And yeah, let's get you all around. In fact, we're going to take out that city first, and then we'll go over there. Oh, I also use the Global Relations Panel mod, which is very helpful, especially if you have a lot of AI or a lot of players in the game. You can quickly click that little button and see exactly who's at war with who's allied, who's unfriendly, just on a quick little map to show you rather than have to go through all the menus. The UI is not great. So I do that here too. Ibn Battuta will ally. Here, let's use that mod. Global Relations Panel. Who's Ibn Battuta friends with? He's allied with Lakshmabai. He's allied with Ada. And me. Friendly with us. He's not allied with anybody. Let's see if he'll ally. Cool. And then he'll go to war with Hatshepsut as well, which will hinder her a bit. And you just keep cranking out ships. That's what you need to do. Naval unit. Naval unit receive Science Eagle to its cost, which is perfect. You come up here, pack into there. You get there, you go upgrade. Okay. Sleep. Z is sleep, by the way. Nope, we can upgrade. Perfect. Okay, head over there. Y'all head into this commander. Suck in. Suck in. Get over there. Yeah, you need to be over there. Another fleet commander. Excellent. Yeah, let's get you out here to the war. You're going to be just fine. You're going to be just fine. Get this Lancer over there, I guess. And what are you doing all the way over here? Go defend the land. I can probably take Mennefer with ground troops by the time I get there with my ships, but we definitely want ships over here for Wasit. Cool. Continue the crisis, great. And let's wait, because I want to put an observatory there and monument there. Yep. Yeah, we want to gain science when there's plague. Cool, you head that way, you head that way. You head this way into the new fleet commander when he makes it. Cool, and you head over there. Alright, get this war started here in a few. You stay packed. I'm about to end this era. We need to start doing this now. Treasure convoy, get over there. Completely forgot about that settlement. Alright, I think we can get this war started. Alright, it's time to take out Hatshepsut. Here's how that war started, and maybe I'll take all the settlements, maybe I won't. Just depends on how it goes. Maybe I'll just be honorable and keep one settlement, but we'll see. And declare war. Yep. And I get a point for that. Purchasing on all settlements, yes. And we're just going to smash her with war support so we don't lose any extra happiness. +5, she is going to be, as the kids say, cooked. Y'all unpack. Of course, I don't have a bombard. That's fine. Kill that guy. Perfect, already killed the commander. You get in here. It's probably going to be something there. You're good there. You come over here. Help this guy out. Come on over. And start shooting. Pillage, why not? Get some science out of this. Sure, pillage. Okay. I don't think they're going to do too much damage to me. Take that back. No, they're cooked. Oh yeah, Ibn Battuta's helping us. Thanks, buddy. The Arabs have arrived. Bam. Dead. Come on up. Oh, and this has got the plague. Probably should have my fleet commander there. It's gonna bombard all this. No upgrades yet. Yeah, he's got one. Okay, this is unpack out of the commander. We're attacking fortified districts. That's the one we want. Okay, and I don't have a fleet commander here. I do over here. Cool. You stay there. Now this war looks like it's going to be decently easy. Bam. Get in the commander. Do you still have movement? No. Figured as much. Take care of that. I want to kill those commanders, that's for sure. Cakewalk. Alright. Now we're starting a war. Okay. So, convert. Nice. Nice. We're going to convert this pretty well. Not remaining very isolationist by converting people to Shinto, but it's fine. Okay. Stay. Bam. You run along up here, help that guy. And convert. Alright, Egypt's doing some damage over here. Oh, it must be Ada or Ibn helping me over here. You're not defenseless, you're gonna be fine. There we go. Looks like we can just take Vedette. Yeah, we're gonna want that as a staging area. Keep it. Let's make it a fishing town. Kill that Jermoke. Okay, come over here. Bam, 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 bam. And let's get on land. There's really no reason to get over here now. Promotion available. 2. Let's just, yeah, go down the bombard tree. Naval unit's commander is reciprocal damage when defending from range attacks. Works for me. And yeah, start shooting over there. Cool. You can also take a district. You can hit the raise button to take a district. Cool. You guys pack in. Go over here as well. And the Navy is here. Unload. Next will be okay there. Take him out. We're also going to put you here, and then we're going to do a commanded strike, whatever it's called, coordinated attack. And they get extra bonus for that. Okay, we're going to waltz right into these walls. Take that out. You take that knight out. Okay. Is Ada Lovelace at war with her? No. I don't want to ally with Ada Lovelace because it's going to be harder to take her out next game. If I ally now, I want that relationship to decrease. There we go. You're going to do assault. We're going to need that next era, that's for sure. Great. We're going to raise this one because it's a stupid position and I can put a much better city. Probably like right there. Yeah, much better. We don't need to do that. We're going to have enough settlements that we don't need it. Oh, wow. He's got a whole tree. Let's do maneuver. Yeah. So that I can maneuver around better. We're going to remember, we need to keep this navy nearby for when we are attacking Ada next game. It's going to be a full-out war. I might even be able to just take out Ibn Battuta as I go. She doesn't have very many cities, and they don't seem well defended. So that's good to know. I also have a crazy amount of influence to put on her. So let's do that. Mess that up. You get on land. You get on land. Looks like we can just walk right in. Actually, I can take it with my ship. Take this one with our ship. Oh, look, we can plunder a trade route. I'd rather do that than take this. I still can do it. We now own a jet. We're going to keep that settlement. That's strategically good. We're going to put a bunch of air bases right there. Medina I could incorporate, but I'm not going to need to. Cool. So now he's going to send this guy there. The commander's not going to get much experience. He's just there for moral support. This little guy here. Didn't do anything. But that's fine. Stay. Oh, there's a plague here. We don't want to be stuck there. Okay. Come there. Suck him in. Suck him in. Excellent. Suck in. And yeah, we're going to want more navy over this way next era. Oh, great. We can start this. Goodbye, commander. And goodbye, that commander. Crushing. It's actually kind of disappointing how easy this is, but it's because we have all that influence saved up. And Toyotomi just has excellent attack power, which is great. Alright. Need you to get out of here. You get in here. You come there. You now come here. Bombard. You attack. We're going to attack from the sea, because why not? Have some fun with it. Pack in. Cool. We definitely want this one. There's a natural wonder there. Like, what's the yields on that? Yeah, we're going to want that. All that happiness? Want it. Alright. Kill that guy, because you can attack our ships. Cool. Wasset will be ours. That's going to be... In fact, let's crank out a settler. Let's finish the hospital first. And settle that spot, just so the AI doesn't next game. I don't know if I'll have time in 10 turns. Okay, that's our thing 2, and that means we have more relics now. 3 more. Alright, we should get first to conquer a capital in terms of triumphs. Okay, keep converting. That swordsman did not stand a chance. Convert. Cool. Treasure fleet, come on back. We have tons of treasure fleets coming in. Our economy is going to be amazing. It is amazing. The plague is the most annoying of the crises. I like the one, even though it is annoying when the barbarians spawn up, like rebel factions, that one's fine. But it's less annoying than the plague. It is annoying when you like have a crisis going on. Well, it is a crisis technically, but you know what I mean. Like when you have happiness penalties already, and that starts going on, you're like, oh damn it, I got to deal with these guys now. Shoot that command. This is Hideyoshi is crazy. Wow. Okay, we're just gonna blast through Tenju, and that gives us a land route into her next game. It's almost gonna be too easy. Let's send that guy there because we want the extra science that the plague doctor is going to give us. Okay, and also I just want the plague to be gone when I show you guys the end of the game. That's more helpful. Remember, always have your fleet commander in area. I just messed that up. Bam. Bam. Cool. Heal up. We're going to walk right through that city. Shoot that one. Shoot that one. You attack from the sea. Oh my goodness. Okay. Someone else is in here too. He can't come out though. Okay, we'll take that one. Get this promotion. He's got 2. We're going to do ranged. We want cavalry next there. Yeah, so we'll go that way. Does tanks count as cavalry? You know what? Let's let this guy have some fun. But we do have a lot of ships over here. Lancer. Let's occupy that. In fact, we need one of you to occupy the city. Yeah, let's do that. So it says the war weariness is gone. Okay, you get a 10% buff to happiness with the commander there, and I think it scales per level, which is nice. So always stick a commander, fleet commander or otherwise, in a new city that you take for that reason. Okay, come back. Don't expose yourself. Hop into the commander. Okay. Armor up. Pillage. More science. Great. More science. Something. Alright, let's take care of these Egyptian guys. In fact, we can now. Nope. They might get hurt from the plague. That's okay. We can manage that if we take 18. We're going to take 18, 19, 20, and I'm going to settle another one. So, great. We're going to need another doctor there. You die. You come back. You hop in there. Let's buy some things. We already got the settler. Oh, he's going to die. Actually, he won't. He might. Never mind. Coastal settlements with a dungeon. That's more important. I only have 2 commanders really to deal with. Shoot him. Who's my fleet commander? Need you over there. I'll make this easy for this guy to get in there. And another fleet. Well, we're going to keep that guy in the settlement. In fact, why don't you pack in there too? We don't need all of you. This is crazy. I'm just waltzing through. Also, why is my settler lens on? Don't get that. Alright, we're gonna bombard. We're gonna bombard. Great. I'm on Immortal, so I'm 1 away from deity. It shouldn't be this easy, and I'm like, why is this so easy? But it's because I'm Hideyoshi, and remember, Hideyoshi gets double damage when attacking, so I'm just gonna steamroll through people, and I'm very excited for next era for that. Treat the sick here. Okay, sleep. Attack. 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 We can take this with this guy. Okay. And... yeah, we can walk it. Why is the settler lens on? It's got a text, sorry. Risky text this time of night. Not answering it. Alright. She might hear that. That's fine. I don't think she watches this. We are good. Alright. Come on through. There's too much plague going on. I see the plague's annoying as hell with this stuff happening. Alright, we just want to take these cities. Also, why is the settler lens on? Got him. Alright. I don't know. Maybe next turn this will fix. Get another physician sent out. Oh, we just got converted. We won't have that. Missionary next turn. We won't have that at all. I won't have it. Okay. Why don't you land on land? Let you do something. In fact, you just chill. What is happening with this settlement lens? Might need to like back out. Stop that. Oh, Sendai's got the plague now. Not good. Alright, come on back. Don't die in the COVID. And take it. We now own her capital. 45 resources, 7 universities. First to take a capital. Killing it. Keep settlement. It's the capital. So you always want to take the capital last because the capital gets an extra defense bonus, but for us right now, doesn't matter. We're just going to go through, and we're going to do +5 combat strength for naval units because we're going to want that big time. Alright, you come down here. You come down here. You station in Wasatch to keep it happy. And yeah, why don't you guys coordinated strike those walls. And you waltz on and take it. Menifer. We have now just absolutely eviscerated Egypt. 18 of 17 settlements, not the worst. Okay, he can't attack yet, so I'm going to start bombarding those walls. Those walls. I'm just going to let him waltz in. I know I changed my mind like 4 times there, but we're running out of time. No, you don't. Let the commander do it. Will you do a happiness thing? Ginseng agreement. Cool. We'll keep Jose as an ally. Why not? Even though the Japanese took the Philippines, but you know, what can you do? Suck in. HP. Head on in there. Okay, so it should be pretty easy to conquer Ada next game. Almost too easy. And I believe she's killing it in score after me. Ada. Then Napoleon. So Napoleon, if he starts conquering next era, we're going to have to worry about him. But if I conquer Ada, I think I'll get the... Especially if we choose... The other thing, too, is Ada is advanced in science and culture. So she'll pick an ideology really fast. And we want to pick an ideology fast as well to be able to start a war. and get the the credit for taking those settlements, because that's how that works in the next era. Yeah, we're gonna fix our city here. Stay as that, become that. All right, we take 600 gold. These things are just happening at a rapid pace here. Let's do more happiness. Yeah, I'll give us more. You guys waltz in. Oh, of course. Can you bombard that? I'm sorry, y'all. I don't understand why this lens is on. It's driving me insane. But we just took Tenju. Okay, got a lot of those. We'll keep Tenju. We're gonna need it. Let her keep Zhao. We'll end the war. Oh, we still. I took all of those cities in less than 10 turns. That's crazy. All right, we'll just triple our army. Okay, you guys suck into him. Stay there. You're gonna be a resort town as soon as you can be. I don't. We haven't gotten the 10 turn sign yet. Cool. Well, that was a naval war. Quick and easy. Well, still, it's not over yet. All right, all of you guys suck in there. Maintain that. All right, you come over here. I don't... Oh, it's the religion lens. Let's fix that. Okay, we're gonna buy a missionary here. We need a temple here first to do that. Missionary. And when I click the missionary lens, it should stop this. What lens is this? Yes, this will be a great spot. In fact, we want those resources for the science. No, that's probably the best spot. Yeah, whatever. We're gonna take that. Head down here, I guess. Also, don't want you dying. Is it the religious lens? We turn on religion. Conquest is nice. Appeal? I don't know what this is. I don't know what this lens is. I think it's showing me different colors. I think it's religion. No, because it's the same religion. I don't know what that is. Sorry, y'all. It won't go away. If you know the answer to that, let me know in the comments. You head back. I haven't even explored over there yet. In fact, let's do that, because I can. We'll send these merchants over there, so they're over there for next era. Also, we'll keep them from dying of the plague in my own cities. Yeah, let's send a missionary down through there. You're a growing town? Tea house. Okay. Oh, that's right. We put an armorer there. Or an observatory? Yeah. Okay. Hey, the lens is gone. Ah, it's because I bought that missionary. It was religion. Who knows? Actually, I don't know if that was the case. Whatever. But there you go. That's a war. That's how a war works. Yes, it's a religion. Yeah, I think that's the best spot. So we want those gold and those camels for sure. This is going to be a very strategic spot next game, because we're just going to absolutely berate her. In fact, we might just be able to conquer everything she has and then just go for Ibn Battuta, because I think he's winning science. Let's see. Scientific. She is. We're right after him. So if we, yeah, take out Ada, we'll advance ahead of him next era, I think. Or beat him to the space race by killing him. We can now make peace with her. Oh, right. This updated. Completely forgot. Can do 1,000 gold to end the war. Alright, well that's the new update. You can do that kind of stuff. Got all her settlements down here. She has nothing left. She has 1 of 15 settlements. Let her stay there. We can trade with her next game. Alright, that's the war. We let her keep 1 settlement because we're honorable guys, but also I need someone to trade with next era. To end this video, though, what we're going to do is lay out my city pins again. I'll put all my map tacks out and show you exactly what I overbuilt and what I didn't get to, because a lot of wonders I wanted to get, I didn't get. A lot of buildings I wanted to get, I didn't finish and have time to build. So I'm going to show you my final build. So this is what it looks like exactly before we transition to the modern era. If you want to do this too and roleplay like an isolationist Japan and then branch out in the exploration era and then just conquer in the modern, this is very important to see. So exactly how it's set up for the next era. So with that, let's get to the pins. Well, let's just take a look. So we had Tokyo in the ancient era, expanded out to Kagoshima, Sendai, Kumamoto, made these mining towns, made this fishing town, incorporated this city-state, found this distant land, found this distant land, settled this distant land, and that distant land. We'll consider that like Okinawa. It's in the far reaches of the empire. Found this area next to Egypt that made a beautiful city spot. Like, there's no reason you wouldn't put a city there. All those mountains and all those resources, like that'd be crazy not to take that spot. So I did that. And we, after that, we got this distant land too. Actually, that was our first distant land. Then we conquered Egypt. We went to Bedet, Dejet, Tejenu? Who knows? Menefer. And we took Wasset. So we got all of her wonders, which are now all in our capital, which is giving us good tourism. So let's look at that. Cultural, doesn't really tell us how much tourism we're making. 295 in culture. In score, I'm doing the best. So, and I beat her by a lot. Almost 100. Great. So we're crushing ahead. Science, I'm lagging behind. We can halt her. So that's the empire, right? Let's look at Tokyo, though, and see what we built. And I'm going to put these yields out so I can remember. City center, right? We had a wonder here. We got Serpent Mound this era, and we got that wonder. We got that wonder, and I believe we had the Terracotta Army last era. Yes. Also have the Hoodoo Hall. So another one. We can just take those off because they're kind of distracting. Yeah, but let's see. So, Granary and Stonecutter. Granary. We put a Stonecutter there, which is a Exploration Era 1. Got a mine here. I can also see there's a good science spot. So, Armorer and University. Getting adjacencies with the Wonder and the 2 resources. That is a menagerie and a pavilion next to the mountain and the Wonder. So that's the temple and the kiln. Look, the temple's got the little steps on it. Okay, so temple and the kiln. That is a wonder. Forbidden City. Yeah, okay, that's a wonder. Next to that is the Hoodoo Hall. And then in between that, 1 resource, 2 resource, 3 resources, we had the observatory and the dungeon that we overbuilt quick. Great, take that off. Yeah, and then we just kind of expanded out. This is the bazaar and the inn that overbuilt the market and the garden. That's like your first thing you should do, because I think you get bazaars like the first turn. Bank and hospital. So bank and hospital only has 2 water tiles next to it, but it is sandwiched between a wonder and a wonder there, so it's making decent. This would have been a better spot for the bank to get more yield, but we got the bazaar and the inn earlier, right? And then that is the bank and hospital of the other town. So we'll just tea house, the city hall. Yeah, that's basically that town. It's everything you need to know. And what's that? Guild Hall? I bet. Yep, Guild Hall. Which gives you influence, and so that's great. Tokyo ended up being good. Let's check the yields. Tokyo, 43 citizens. Dude. Whoa, that's new. Good to know. Okay. 144 science, 93 gold, 113 culture, and a lot of influence. Great. Let's go to this town. This was a fishing town. Let's see what buildings we put here. Hospital. Let's pin them out. Put a hospital here that next to a market, I think. So we could have put a garden there too. No, what's there? The market from the old era. Okay. And then, yeah, the rest of this is just warehouse buildings. This ended up, we don't have to do this one. Fishing town, but let's just take a look. Altar, granary, brickyard, saw pit. But that's mainly just to get stuff from the fishing boats, all that food. We'll do the towns first. Okay. Nagoya. This was a hub town because it's connected to a bunch of cities. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the hub town is getting 5 from connected cities, 9 from connected towns. Cool. So that's a hub town. Got a couple of tea houses here, which was my syncretism. Granary. Actually, let's look that up. View tree. Meiji. Syncretism. I syncretized with Sengoku Japan. So rather than be Sengoku Japan, which you have to use and conquer people with to get, you know what I mean? Like I got to use Sengoku Japan. You have to use your units to gain science. I would rather have those yields to build a much better Meiji Japan later. And I took the tea house from there, which is their unique improvement. Pretty good there. This became the mining town. We got a lot of resources here, a lot of, production coming out of that. Actually, 36 production to turn, 12 of that gets converted to gold, 24 to gold. I don't understand what that mod is telling me. I just know it calculates it out well. Oh, it's 12 production itself, 24 the rest gets sent to, okay. Yeah. Sakai was an urban center. Let's look at that real quick. We'll pin out the urban center because it's got Sakai, saw pit, and stone cutter. Saw pit, stone cutter, mine, tea house, another tea house. That's the city center, the town center, I mean. Sawmill, and that is an observatory and a university. So cranking out science. Great. That was the library from last era, and that was the granary from last era. That looks like a guild hall. Right, that's the next city over. So yeah, this is making pretty good production and science, which is great. And I believe I had a temple and a kiln. Monument and kiln. Temple in the middle. Yep, so monument and kiln. Can't do the monument this era. I could put an extra culture building though. Monument and kiln and temple and kiln. And then the rest wraps around as production. Now let's move to Sendai. I'm still bummed I can't make that. Sendai was a great city. This was like a trusty guy. 1, 2, 3 resources. So I know I first thought to put my observatory and my dungeon there. Looks like, yep, I did. And that was the guild hall and the blacksmith. Oh, right. The blacksmith was from the last era. Right. This looks like my observatory, armor university, sorry. Armor university. Excellent. This is the temple and the kiln, has to be. It's next to the 2 mountains, temple and kiln. Cool. Over here, that looks like the bazaar and the inn. Bazaar and the inn, because 1, 2, 3 water tiles. And then that was the bank and the hospital, so that must be the granary and the brickyard. Okay, granary and the brickyard. Look at that, though. Oh, the shipyard, Bath grist mill. We didn't put that there. Fishing Key and Ancient Bridge. The shipyard is here. Right, getting the 9 production because it's next to that resource and in the water. Yeah, doing good. And then the Jinja from the Ancient Era. So that's still cranking out culture, which is really nice. Oh, right. And we worked over here and we got the Tomb of Askia. I didn't put those wonders down over here. That was Serpent Mound and the Forbidden City over here. That's the Sarah's wonders. Cool. Tomb of Askia, which then, if we went there, we got the saw pit there, stonecutter and sawmill. Stonecutter and sawmill here got us to the Tomb of Askia, which then connects us to the menagerie and pavilion in between those 3 mountains and 2 wonders. So that's making 15 and 16 culture respectively. Crazy good. All right, then we're gonna move to Kumamoto. Cool. Kumamoto. So I can already tell that's the Sanchi Stupa. This is the pavilion and menagerie. Pavilion and menagerie. That is the temple and the kiln there. Temple and kiln. Also notice the temple and kiln, which is supposed to get culture and happiness, has also got 4 science on it. Got the Grand Bazaar, which is great. Where is that? Here we go. That puts us next to the bazaar and the bank. For some reason, I put those both there. I don't remember why. I guess because of the Wonder and 2 Coast. Probably why. That's the observatory and armor in the university. Okay. Armor in university, which means the other spot where I put the observatory and dungeon must have come first. So 1... It's not getting a lot of resources around it. Not just 1. No, 1, 2. Yeah, that's fine. Observatory and dungeon. Okay, and that looks like the inn and the hospital. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That city's growing like crazy. The hospital and the inn. And the guild hall must be in the city center. Yeah, because the guild hall is giving us extra influence there, which I just noticed. Shipyard. There, yep. Lighthouse I kept because it's just making extra stuff, but there's a wharf with that too. I also had the wharves over here and in this city too, but it's whatever. But just remember, your wharf is a production building. Your wharf is a food building, so it does better next to water, and your shipyard is a production building, so it does better next to resources. So 1 resource and that, and then the shipyard here next to 1 resource there, right? Shipyard is in there too, so next to 1, 2 resources and a wonder is making 15. Kagoshima, let's see, and remember we had to build the temple and the monument and the amphitheater last game to get to this spot, which was 1, 2 mountains. But even the better spot, the temple and the kiln, because last era this was a resource, and this era we were able to use it. So 1, 2, 3 mountains, then the menagerie and the pavilion here, which I don't think we finished building. Can I finish building anything? The wharf, great. Okay, that's not working for some reason. That's the granary, I can tell. Granary, also Hejimi Castle, and that is the Rila Monastery, which is probably the best wonder in this era, depending on what you want to do, but it can fit all those relics. Rila Monastery, that's the bank and the hospital. Nope, bank, that's the bank and the hospital there. So that must be the guild hall. Nope, armor and university. I'm crazy. 1, 2. Yep, armor and university. Cool. That's the guild hall. Getting the influence on it too. That's the bazaar and the inn. Inn and bazaar. 1 water tile, but next to 2 wonders. And then next to a resource, and a wonder, we have the observatory and the dungeon. Observatory and the dungeon. That is the altar and the sawmill. Brickyard and saw pit. Brickyard and saw pit to get to the amphitheater and the monument over here last era. So that's just giving us extra stuff now. That's that city. That looks like the shipyard. Yep. And the wharf, harbor and fishing key. Okay, harbor and fishing key. We don't need to know this. That's from the last era, but the wharf is somewhere over here. Fishing key, lighthouse. Oh, the wharf right there. Cool, wharf. All right, looking good. And then these were just mining towns, so you know, just a few things. But as a hub town, I should have built a dungeon there because that gives you extra influence on it, and you can build it. And I didn't build a temple there for some reason. I got all those relics. Okay, let's check out the distant lands. This was our first one. I think all we really have here, let's look at the queue. Brickyard, granary, fishing key, harbor, saw pit, stonecutter, and that's basically to give this production. And I made it a religious site just because basically religious site is just, it makes the town happy and you don't have to worry about it. And you're just claiming the land, colonizing it and converting the people to your religion, which, you know, problematic-ish, but not because it's a game. Right, and then we incorporated this, and I made it a urban center, and we can just look at this, but I put an observatory there, and then we put a temple there, and a tea house there. Okay, these cities we conquered. We don't really need to go into those. Next era we can. We conquered this one. We'll deal with that next era. Wasit we conquered, made it an urban center. It's got a bunch of wonders, which is great. Petra, the pyramids, the Wat Shin Thong, and the Emily Bell. Yeah, we needed that. Now, Kanazawa, this was the one I founded this era, and this is a pretty good spot. And I can already see the mountains, I can already see the science. So that's my observatory, that's my university in my dungeon. Right, because my observatory, you get the observatory first, but by the time I founded this settlement, I already had universities, so I put that in my better science spot. So university and armor, nope, university and dungeon, and then the observatory and the armorer, I guess, are right there. Yep, next to the inn and the hospital, so getting a lot of food. Hospital and the inn, that is the bank and the bazaar. So the bank and the bazaar, so that's making a lot of gold right in that spot. 21 gold, you can see right there. City center also has, nope, that's the brickyard and the stone cutter. Brickyard and stone cutter. There's a lot of resources in the city to mine, so we're going to do that. Granary and the saw pit, and that looks like the sawmill. An extra 5 production, so that's getting extra. The plantation's getting extra production. Looking good. And then that looks like the menagerie and the pavilion. Menagerie and pavilion, so that must be the temple and the kiln. Yep, correct. So once you pin stuff out enough, you do realize what I can just look at this and know. I can know them. I was thinking mountain and place it on a mountain. I know mountains are going to have my happiness and culture buildings, and I know resources are going to have my others. And it's really hard to tell with all these, yields on there at the moment, but turn those off. All right, the pins. Can I show map tags? Yeah, turn them off. Let's look at Kanazawa. Not a bad Japanese city. Way off in the distance out here. This is still homelands, though. Remember, this is Shattered Seas, so your homelands are still pretty connected. Let's take a look at Tokyo. That is an awesome city. Look how sprawled this is. I know it's intersected by rivers and stuff, but that's how a city should look. Just everything should be covered with urban sprawl. And then we have the urban center here. Same thing. Going this way. I can even lock this in place. Sendai, another big urban area. Observatory and dungeon. Temple and kiln. The kiln's got the fire coming out of it. Sendai, and then just look at this. This is all going to be just giant boats next game to kill people. The Colossus, the Great Lighthouse is back in Tokyo. I mean, look at that. And then we're going to come over here to Kagoshima. Everything's sprawling around this mountain, which is great. The Hijemi Castle. Next to the observatory and the Rila Monastery. This is a cool looking empire just spread about. And yeah, and spin this around too. This really good fishing town, even in the Arctic, so everything's covered in snow. I love that. Let's look at our distant lands really quick. This is Yonezawa. I made this an urban center too, and we put a temple and a kiln next to those 2 mountains, and we put an observatory and a university next to these 3 resources. So this is making 9 science and 10 culture, which is great. And then we just kind of left that alone. This was a city-state we incorporated, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 resources. This was sending treasure fleets, basically. And what do we put here? Take a look. Harbor, fishing key, granary, saw pit, sawmill, temple. So not bad. Our other distant land was over here. This was also an urban center, and we got the observatory there, the temple there, and I put a tea house there. You know, and to pin that out. This was basically just so that I got 1 extra treasure fleet, and to not let Jose Rizal do that, but we have now a staging area to get across to Napoleon and Jose if they decide to declare war on me. But yeah, that is it. Let's turn the things back on. The yields. Map tax. Right, so... Oh, we didn't finish the map tax here. That's a tea house. That's the sawmill. Sawmill. That's the brickyard and saw pit. Brickyard and saw pit. Granary and stonecutter. Stonecutter. Granary. Resource, shipyard, wharf. Yes, we just missed those. But yeah, this is a great city too. Yeah, so Kumamoto is looking pretty good too. I mean, just like, it's a wonder-filled city. It's a wonderful city, haha. And then all these mountains and shit. Like, we're well defended. If someone tries to invade us, they're gonna have to come this way, and they gotta funnel through this little area, and it's like a good Thermopylae pass to stop them. I don't think anyone's gonna mess with us, because we have a huge power. And I own all of this now, so just a strip to get to Ibn, or I'm completely surrounding Ada. I left her alive. She's going to hate me next game, but we're just going to zoop right through all of her coastal settlements next game. And then, yeah, we'll just focus all once we get Plains conquering Ibn Battuta, because he's going to win science if we don't go for it. Is that right? And I made Hikone really quick and just threw my warehouse buildings down at the end of the era to expand it, so it grows really fast next game with all those warehouse buildings. Okay. That is the end of the era. Let's save really quick. Hideyoshi, in case I have to come back to this. Hideyoshi, Explo, and save. Oh yeah, I started an Alexander the Great game the other night when I was really high. Let's transition to Meiji Japan. And next era, we will set out those pins and do that. But one more time, we'll just check the score really quick. I'm killing it there. Cultural, I'm dominating. Economic, I am more than dominating. Military, I am dominating. Scientific, I am in 3rd place. So we really need to focus on science next game, or conquering the people who are doing better than us in science. Alright, that's that. Catch you later. Alright, that concludes the video of the exploration era and the war with Hatshepsut. Next era, or next video, will be me just absolutely conquering everybody with planes, Mikases, and zeros, as it should be. So, please stick around for that. If you're new here, please subscribe. If you like this video, please subscribe. Please leave a comment, and again, every like, every comment, every view helps. Just keep it going, and if you want to find more from me, you can go to my other channel at David Ian Howe. It's my archaeology, my history, anthropology channel. You can also follow me on Instagram at ethnosynology, and find me everywhere else. And my website, davidianhowe.com. So, thank you.